And then I was like, if the dog doesn't stop, you gotta kill it. Oh, hey guys, welcome back. This is Two Brothers Off Script here. Not really condoning animal violence this week, but we are going to be talking about animals.
Pets.
Pets in
We're
general.
talking pets.
Pets, domestic.
4-legged, 2-legged, 17-legged.
We're not
I
going to
don't
get
know.
into the centipedes.
It's just
millipedes
pets.
and stuff.
We're talking about pets. We have pet owners. We are pet owners.
Well, I'm a pet owner.
You're a pet owner. I am a person.
You're a pet participant.
I participate without my consent.
Right. So.
I'm Jerry.
Itchy eyes.
And this is Two Brothers Off Script, unscripted, real life.
So,
do you want to start? I kind of want to start. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I want to start. I think we're doing good. All the levels are good. The light's good. Everything's good. We're good. So, I have a couple of cats, and they're indoor only because I want to avoid fleas at all costs. And I'm sure there's people out there who say like, your cats can get fleas anyways. But so far we've been pretty lucky, and we've had we got our main cat. Well, they're both our main cats, I guess. I have a cat. She has a cat. My wife. Our first cat is a boy, and initially when I purchased this animal from Craigslist, it was told to be a girl. So
that seems like an important point.
Yeah, well, they didn't know, obviously. They were professional
Getting the
breeders.
gender right on an animal that you're buying from Craigslist.
Yeah.
50-50 shot.
I'm assuming that the lies about, this animal's got all its shots and vaccinations was totally legit too. But, so the animal was believed to be a girl, and then, so we named it, and then it was actually named like Isabel or something like that, or Isabella or whatever. I don't know. This is before Twilight, for us anyways. So the cat grew a pair, and we decided to call it Izzy, because it's like, is he a boy, is he a girl? He's still super temperamental, I think. He's got a complex about this whole thing. But cats are they have a lot of personality.
They do, but you got the cat as a kitten?
Got it as a kitten, about 6 weeks old.
And it makes a little bit more sense
Yeah.
now. All right.
Yeah, so it's 4 years now for the cat, and
that's good.
It's kind of fat. We feed it too much. We let it eat too much. But the other cat we've had for about 2 years now is a rescue. Cute little tortoiseshell with a busted tail. And she was so mangy when we first got her. They had no idea how old she was, but we got her on sale basically because the Humane Society was saying, any animal over 12 months old is like half price, like they're going out the door either way. So you got to get them now. So we decided to get that cat, and it picked up a cold from another cat in the facility.
Doesn't that seem strange though? It seems strange, right, about our society, right? I understand why animals get taken to the pound or the animal shelter. Mm-hmm. I guess is the better way to call it now. It's the animal shelter, right? And then the animal shelter is running essentially as a not-for-profit.
Right.
Okay? But then they will kill the animals, euthanize the animals,
mm-hmm. and
up to the very last minute, they would still rather charge you money for that pet.
For sure.
Than they've already got money sunk into the cost, right? They've already spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
They've already vaccinated.
Yeah.
They've already fed, kenneled, housed for months at a time.
Right.
And then up to the very last minute, they would rather kill the animal than give it to you for free.
Right.
Why don't they just have hey, it's free day, right? And this is the last shot for this animal. You get it today or it goes in the bucket. It's a bad situation, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the logic behind that is. It's
a bad business.
It just has to be. They literally don't have the space or something like
that. It doesn't cost
most of them now. This is that's kind of the old way now. There is a lot more anti-kill, no-kill shelters.
Well, that's good.
They basically will just keep transferring the animal, giving it first-class tickets around the country until somebody takes it.
Well, I think there's a whole secondary market
It goes to the farm.
To the shelter animals, right? So you've got the animals actually in the shelter, and then you have the people who don't want animals in the shelter to be killed.
You can foster.
Who take all the animals out that are about to be killed, and they run the shelter, the second shelter.
Right.
I don't know if there's a third level of shelter.
But this is home animal fostering. You can.
This is really complicated.
Just
for pets.
Well,
I am not the pet person.
Pets just want to be fed.
They do.
Most of them.
But all right, I know that there are members of our small community at this point who are pet lovers. I know you own pets. My wife owns pets.
But being a pet lover...
I do not say that I own pets.
I gotta say, Izzy was about to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
But I bought a new floor instead. He couldn't stop peeing on the carpet.
That's really expensive.
It was.
To save it.
It was a very expensive animal saving. But, I mean, we wanted a new floor anyway, so it's kind of like you had to...
It worked out.
It worked out, but the previous homeowners had cats, and those cats had marked in certain areas, and then he was triggering on those marks, and it was just this whole cycle of never-ending sneaky peas.
What do you think is what do you think you get out of it in your life, or for your child, or for your wife? Like, what do you get out of having a pet? What is the benefit to you?
There's not.
There's no benefit to you.
No.
Occasionally you pet the cat.
I pet the cat all the time.
Do you feel good after you pet the cat?
No. I mean,
that's not a euphemism.
I do the laser pointer, and that's kind of fun. Or I get the cat to chase a string or something like that. Like, I will play with the animal.
And that makes you feel happy.
More often than not, I'd be sitting at the computer and he'll actually come and he'll put his paws up on my arm. As I'm sitting at the computer, put his paws up there, and he'll look at me like, "Come on, are you gonna pet me?" And I'm like, "You can hop up on my lap if you want." I give him the space. I'm like, "It's all yours. Just jump up there. I'll give you a couple of pats, and then I'll go back to the computer." And he'll just flop down on the ground and wait to be pet. And I'll reach down and give him a scratch, like, "Get away," and then go back to what I'm doing, and he'll do it again. Paws on the arm. It's like he knows that if he can keep bugging me, he'll get a little bit of attention.
Nagging. That is nagging.
That's
what that is.
He's a very naggy animal. And then my the other cat, I mean, she'll sleep on you while you're just sitting on the couch or something. She'll find a comfy spot on your leg, or she'll climb up on you while you're in bed and just like lay on your side. Just find a spot to be on you, and it's kind of annoying. But she's really cuddly or whatever, and I guess that's nice. I think a lot of people kept pets around this as an alternate food source, just in case. At the end of the
that's like the historic.
I might like my cows, but I'm not going to name them. You know what I mean?
Some people do. Some people name their cows.
Some people milk their cows, and some people eat their cows. But most of the time, it's not for like an emotional reason that you put them down or something. But I've had a lot of animals growing up, and I wouldn't say that I've ever, maybe I'm jaded now, because I've seen our animals get hit by cars, and we find their bones after the coyotes got to them.
That's sad,
stuff
right?
Like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, it's a circle of life or something for these animals. But before these cats, it had been a couple of years for me because I had another cat and it didn't make it. And I said, if I was ever going to have animals again, I'd be able to afford to take care of them. But I always had a firm rule. I would never spend more money on the animal than I would on a new car or a car. That's it.
That's a high standard.
No, I'm not talking like a nice new car or something like that. I'm talking like 0 down financing for 32 months or something like that, and then you got to pay a nickel every month or whatever.
Man.
But I would say that I wouldn't pay more than $500 to And that's a high number for me. I would say $500 is the most I would ever pay to save the animal. But if it had gotten clipped by a car or something, it's going down. It's going away.
So
I'm not gonna save its fractured hip with a little rolly
Right.
cart. I'm not gonna do Iron Man cat. I'm not gonna set it up with a booster pack or anything. You can't walk. You can't fend for yourself. You're not really gonna have anything.
So
else.
some people, I mean, this is the common distinction, right? Some people are cat people, some people are dog people.
Some people just like
I happen to know some of the people that when I mentioned to one guy that I know that we were going to do pets this episode, he said, I'm a cat person. And he talked about that he's a cat person now and he understands that and he kind of likes it, he enjoys that. Another person we know is a dog person. And if you're on Instagram, you can check out Happy Go Lucky Gracie, I believe is the name, who's trying to become, the puppy's trying to become Instagram famous.
the puppy is trying to become.
Yeah, and the owner is the agent.
The agent of the puppy. Okay.
She's a nice.
I'm
a nice
sure
lady.
that this is totally possible.
But so we had pets growing up, and
Dogs, cats.
We had dogs and cats. I think we had bunnies one time.
Yeah.
We saw several of our pets get old, but most of the time our pets would get out, and they would get in trouble.
They were gone.
Right. They went wild.
Right.
And so when that happens, as a child, if that happens enough times, I think you kind of start to understand that there's not necessarily a permanence to that.
Right.
Whereas my wife had one cat, Pumpkin, but she called it Punky. She had that cat for 17 years. It moved with us several times. It was an angry cat. That cat was an angry cat. And she loved that cat. She'd had it since she was a little kid. And eventually, one day, we're still not sure where it went, it disappeared from our third floor apartment building. I don't know what happened to the cat. We looked for it. I've gone out several times over the course of my marriage and looked for animals. And I've come to the opinion as a dad now, as a husband now, I don't want pets. I've said I don't feel adult humans should pick up animal feces. I feel like that's a bad thing to do. It's hard enough to clean your own kid butts, and now you're cleaning animal butts.
Yeah.
Whether you're changing out a litter box, or whether you're scooping poop because you're going to have a barbecue, or whether you're walking through the yard casually and all of a sudden find a surprise, or your animal soils linens or bed sheets or carpets, right? Whatever it is, like, these things cost us money. And we had a since we got married, we had a dog that got hit by a car, and it survived, and we took it to the doctors. I think it was $1,000 out by the time everything was all said and done to patch this poor mud up, right? And then, he was okay after that. But I don't know how many dog beds we bought. I don't know how many, sheds we bought. We've had birds, we've had saltwater fish tanks, we've had freshwater fish tanks, we've had rabbits. There was a lizard one time, I think. Now we have bunnies in our yard that are wild.
I can solve all this for you. Here's the lesson for everyone concerned about whether or not you should or shouldn't have a pet. Don't do it because it costs money.
That's how I feel,
If you really want the responsibility of a child without any sort of give back, have a pet. And if you want to have kids and then, not have additional responsibility, don't have any pets. You should have one or the other, not both.
Well,
I have a kid and I have 2 cats, and then I distinctly know why people want one or the other. They're a cat person, they're a dog person. Dog people love an animal that will love them unconditionally and always be there for them until, they go to the farm. There is just that, you could beat the animal and sometimes they'll be scared of you. And this is an analogy, not from experience or anything, but most people could smack the dog for doing something they didn't like and then talk to it in a fun tone, and the dog would come right back to them. They're stupid most of the time. You can teach them tricks, but they're stupid.
They run off.
Right. And then cats will stay, they're smart enough to understand the territory, food source, that
litter
box, how to use it. Some of them you can even potty train, I guess, as there's studies on how to do that, and there's also other studies that say you shouldn't do it. I don't know why you shouldn't do it, but if an animal uses a toilet, then you say, wow, that's kind of crazy. You shouldn't, that thing's crazy.
They also carry disease. Animals will bring dead, like cats will bring dead birds into your house.
Outdoor, indoor cats. Your cats.
So my cats are outdoor cats essentially because we're gone too frequently as a family. We're too mobile that we can't just have an animal that's trapped in the house. Yeah. Right? I mean, my wife now has become very, very good at cleaning up after animal messes. Right? But cats will throw up in your house.
Right.
Even if your animals are perfectly potty trained, sometimes they're going to get some bad food. Sometimes they're going to eat something they shouldn't eat.
It's hair. They lick each other, lick themselves.
All I'm saying is, hair. We've all seen, I think, if you've had a pet, this is not like how to have a pet. These things play such an important part of so many people's lives. Right? I've watched people say, hey, I'm at a party, I'm having a really, really good time, I've got to leave. Oh, what's up? I have to go walk the dog. Right? Hey, I want to go do that this weekend. I can't do it. Why? Well, I don't have somebody to watch my dog. Now, if you have a child, I get it. But if you have to change your life because of a pet, it seems like a bad trade to me. And then the pet doesn't necessarily give back to you.
No, there's zero return. And a dog that, loves you, wants to be around you, be affectionate, be playful, lick you after it licked itself,
gross, right? Who wants dog butt tongue in their face? That's gross.
Some people let the dog eat their food with the, they'll feed a dog off.
It physically makes me want to vomit. Right now, I'm like, oh, I feel vomitous. It's gross. But only if you care about, But people love their animals, and I don't fault people for that.
There'll be people with their arguments, like an animal's tongue is cleaner than
that's not true.
Tongue and all this
it's not true. It can't possibly be true. The dog just licked its undercarriage, and it's back to lick you in the face. It's gross.
Animals, I don't understand the domestication of animals, but I understand that it's just common now, something that kind of is part of everyday American life. Most countries eat the animals. We domesticate the animals. It's kind of.
So I do want to ask this. I know we're coming up to the end of the episode here soon, but I want to ask this. I personally don't believe that the argument I'm having a pet instead of having a child, or I'm having a pet because I want to have a child and I can't have it right now, or I'm having a pet to get used to the responsibility that comes with having a child. I feel like it's on a completely different planet.
Oh, for sure.
Having a child and having a pet are not equivalent. They are not prevalent.
Not in the long term. But if you got a puppy or a kitten and you started out at the very beginning and you had to deal with picking up the messes yourself and being woken up in the middle of the night to a cat sitting on your face or something like that, which happens. There are similarities, right? But the problem is that when you decide, let's say you're the person who's training to have a child, you just get a pet first. I think it's more of a joke to say that at all, but you can't exactly just get rid of the animal.
Right.
After you've had the kid, you're like, oh, well, we had the dog for 5 years, and now we got a kid coming along.
It's socially unacceptable.
Hey, Trevor, meet Spike. Here, Spike, say bye-bye to Trevor, because you're going to the farm. We got to keep this one, and we got to get rid of you. I get it. It's a one-bedroom.
I think animals are cool if you want to take care of them. I'm not judging other people's love for their animals. Other people absolutely love their animals.
Well,
that
your
love
yard.
is totally real.
You got a giant yard, and you got 2 dogs,
bunnies,
cats,
and
cats, and then
children,
and 5 kids going
so
on
many
going on 1,000, it seems.
Yeah,
And you're
that'll be another episode. We'll
You're,
talk about more upcoming kids.
yeah. So the responsibility of all of that, and then still finding any time to do anything that isn't just like, well, if I had a chore, I could take care of it, but I don't have a day off, so I'll you take care of it for now or something like that, and you're left with just some extra unneeded responsibility. It seems like it's not really worth it to have the animals.
My wife has really done a good job in being responsible for the things that she enjoys. She has a fish tank. She takes care of it. She takes care of the animals. She takes care of the bunnies. She makes sure the kids are treating the animals nicely. And I do emphasize to my children that we're going to treat animals with respect. You don't want to turn your kid to turn into a little psychopath because they're beating at a dog. That's not the way to go. And sure, I want my kids to learn responsibility of feeding time and changing time and cleaning up dog. I want my kids to learn all those things. But from my perspective, pets become this obligation for a lot of people that they don't even really seem to want. And I guess I'm confused by it. I feel like maybe there's a better way to...
It's cuteness.
Sure.
You say, oh, the kitten is cute. The puppy is
And
cute.
it is.
That tiny little teacup
True.
pot-bellied pig is cute. But it does grow up. It does get bigger. It does crap more. It does make bigger messes. It does require a lot more responsibility. So you shouldn't have animals, period, unless you're willing to give up some free time. Like,
Yeah.
you have to do that, or you have to be willing to ask somebody else's help all the time, or you have to be willing to pay a boarder. I mean, some of the places it can be so ridiculous how much it costs just to put your cat in a box for a day. To think about, like,
Right.
I want to go out of town, but I can't be there for my animal that is basically self-sustaining.
Right.
But you're so worried about this animal's survival,
Right.
or it's a crazy animal and it wrecks your house every time you're gone, that you're going to put it in somebody else's place so that they can get wrecked while you're gone and trying to enjoy yourself. And then you're going to be calling the place saying, is Fido okay? Put him on the phone. I miss him.
I need to FaceTime with Fido.
Yeah, and that is a level that I see this society going to, and it's pretty ridiculous. Get yourself like an iguana or some sort of cage animal that doesn't need any attention or human contact whatsoever.
But then you don't get anything back from it.
You get to look at it. It's like, oh, that's cool.
The iguana will never be happy to see you. That's the downside with an iguana. Fish are the same way, right? Fish.
But you can watch its eyes, you're like, it's looking at me, man. It recognizes me.
Well, guys, that is, I know that's a little bit of an unusual topic for us, but it was just something that was kind of came up, and it was so funny that how much effort sometimes we put into trying to make our life be the way that we want it to be. It's absolutely your choice to decide what you would want to do, and I think we would always encourage you guys, hey, if you love pets, and if you don't love pets, don't love pets. Just make sure that if you're pursuing a relationship with someone who loves pets, you're on board with that.
Yeah, because you don't have a choice. I mean,
it's important. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. That helps us out, and we'll be back next week.
See ya.